The mystery that left millions of ARMY heartbroken may finally have an answer, and Jimin's emotional revelation is sending shockwaves across the BTS world. For weeks, fans around the globe replayed the same heartbreaking moment over and over again. Screenshots flooded social media. Videos spread across every major platform. Fan communities analyzed every expression, every pause, every trembling breath. One question echoed from Seoul to New York, from London to Jakarta: why did Jungkook cry during the live broadcast? Tonight, that mystery has taken a dramatic turn after Jimin finally addressed the emotional moment that left millions of fans stunned. And according to those closest to the situation, the truth may be far more emotional than anyone expected. The revelation has ignited a global conversation, pushing BTS back to the center of international headlines and triggering an overwhelming wave of reactions from fans, commentators, and entertainment insiders alike. As reports began emerging, social media platforms exploded with speculation. Within minutes, hashtags connected to Jungkook and Jimin surged to the top of worldwide trends. Fans who had spent weeks searching for clues suddenly found themselves confronting a new possibility, one that changed the entire narrative surrounding the emotional livestream. But before understanding Jimin's revelation, it is important to revisit the moment that captured the attention of millions. It happened during what initially appeared to be a routine live broadcast. Jungkook appeared relaxed. His smile seemed genuine. The atmosphere felt warm and familiar. Fans tuned in expecting casual conversation, playful interactions, and updates about BTS activities. Instead, they witnessed something completely unexpected. As the broadcast progressed, viewers noticed subtle changes in Jungkook's demeanor. His voice softened. His eyes appeared increasingly emotional. The normally confident superstar seemed to struggle with his words. Then came the moment that would spread across the internet at lightning speed. Jungkook paused. Silence filled the broadcast. His eyes began to glisten. Within seconds, tears became visible. Millions watched in stunned disbelief. Comments flooded the screen faster than anyone could read them. Fans immediately began expressing concern. Was he exhausted? Was something wrong? Had an unseen event occurred behind the scenes? The uncertainty only intensified as clips circulated globally. Entertainment analysts debated possible explanations. Fan communities examined every second of footage. Some believed the emotional moment reflected overwhelming gratitude toward fans. Others suspected personal struggles. Still others wondered whether major developments within BTS were contributing to the emotional reaction. Yet despite endless theories, no definitive explanation emerged. The silence surrounding the incident only fueled further curiosity. Days turned into weeks. The mystery remained unsolved. Then everything changed. According to multiple accounts from fans who closely followed recent BTS-related appearances and discussions, Jimin unexpectedly addressed the subject during a conversation that immediately captured international attention. Witnesses described the atmosphere as emotional from the very beginning. Those present sensed that Jimin was preparing to discuss something deeply personal. As anticipation grew, fans listened carefully. What happened next would leave many speechless. Rather than dismissing the incident or avoiding the topic, Jimin reportedly acknowledged the emotional weight of Jungkook's tears. His words, while measured and thoughtful, offered a glimpse into a side of BTS rarely seen by the public. According to fans who translated and shared the conversation online, Jimin suggested that the moment stemmed from an overwhelming accumulation of emotions that had built over a long period of time. Suddenly, the narrative surrounding Jungkook's tears began shifting dramatically. Social media users who had initially assumed a single triggering event started considering a much broader explanation. Experts in celebrity psychology were quick to weigh in. Several analysts noted that globally recognized artists often carry extraordinary emotional burdens that remain invisible to the public. While fans witness performances, interviews, and social media appearances, they rarely see the countless pressures occurring behind the scenes. People often forget that global superstars are still human beings, one entertainment commentator explained during a televised discussion. When someone carries responsibility for millions of fans, major performances, public expectations, creative ambitions, and personal growth simultaneously, emotions can surface unexpectedly. Those observations resonated strongly with fans who had followed Jungkook's journey over the years. Many recalled his evolution from a young trainee into one of the most recognized performers in the world. They remembered the sacrifices, the relentless schedules, the years of growth under constant public scrutiny. As Jimin's comments spread, countless ARMY members began sharing emotional reflections online. One fan from California wrote, "We always see Jungkook making everyone smile. We forget how much he carries inside." Another fan from Brazil posted, "Hearing Jimin speak about this made me cry too. It reminds us that even our heroes need support." Similar reactions appeared by the hundreds of thousands. Yet the story did not end there. Additional details continued emerging, creating even greater interest. According to insiders familiar with BTS's recent activities, the emotional period surrounding the live broadcast coincided with several significant developments. Although no single event has been officially identified as the cause, observers point to a combination of factors that may have contributed to Jungkook's emotional state. These include intense preparation schedules, reflection on career milestones, interactions with fans, and the immense significance of recent global achievements. Industry veterans note that emotional releases often occur not during moments of crisis, but during moments of reflection. After achieving major goals, artists sometimes find themselves overwhelmed by the realization of how far they have come and how much they have endured to reach that point. That perspective gained traction among fans following Jimin's remarks. Many began revisiting previous interviews where BTS members openly discussed pressure, responsibility, and gratitude. Suddenly, seemingly unrelated comments from past years appeared connected. Viewers noticed recurring themes: appreciation for fans, concern for one another, and the emotional impact of sharing an extraordinary journey together. The deeper fans looked, the more powerful the story became. Then came another surprising development. Several individuals who attended recent BTS-related events described witnessing unusually emotional interactions among members behind the scenes. While none suggested anything alarming, they consistently emphasized the extraordinary bond connecting the group. One attendee recalled seeing members checking on each other repeatedly during a demanding schedule. Another described moments of quiet encouragement that never appeared on camera. These accounts reinforced a central idea emerging from Jimin's revelation: Jungkook's tears may have reflected not weakness, but profound emotional sincerity. The notion struck a chord worldwide. Across social media, countless fans expressed admiration rather than concern. They praised Jungkook for allowing genuine emotion to show publicly. They applauded Jimin for speaking thoughtfully about the experience. And they celebrated the enduring friendship that has defined BTS throughout its career. Television programs across multiple countries began covering the story. Entertainment websites published extensive analyses. YouTube creators dedicated entire videos to examining the significance of Jimin's comments. Some experts argued that the public reaction reflected a broader cultural shift. Increasingly, audiences value authenticity over perfection. Emotional vulnerability, once viewed as something celebrities should hide, is now often seen as evidence of genuine character. In that context, Jungkook's tears became more than a viral moment. They became a symbol. A reminder that extraordinary success does not eliminate human emotion. A reminder that strength and vulnerability can coexist. A reminder that even global icons experience moments of overwhelming feeling. Meanwhile, fan gatherings around the world took on a distinctly emotional tone. In Seoul, supporters shared messages of encouragement. In Los Angeles, fan communities organized online projects celebrating Jungkook's journey. Across Europe, Latin America, and Southeast Asia, ARMY members posted videos expressing gratitude for BTS's openness and honesty. The scale of as the story continued dominating headlines across Asia, North America, Europe, and Latin America, another layer of emotion began emerging from the reactions of those who know BTS best, the fans who have followed every chapter of the group's journey for more than a decade. Throughout the following hours, millions of ARMY members shared memories of Jungkook's growth from a shy teenager into one of the most recognizable performers on the planet. Old videos resurfaced online. Clips from early BTS interviews began circulating once again. Fans pointed to countless moments where Jungkook had spoken about pressure, responsibility, gratitude, and the desire to meet expectations. Looking back, many said they suddenly understood why Jimin's comments felt so significant. They were not simply about one emotional live broadcast. They were about years of dedication, sacrifice, and personal growth that had unfolded in front of the entire world. Entertainment experts also noted that the timing of the emotional moment carried particular importance. BTS had recently experienced another wave of global attention, attracting massive audiences and generating headlines across international media. While such achievements are often celebrated publicly, industry insiders explain that major milestones can trigger unexpected emotional responses behind the scenes. One veteran music executive described it this way: when artists spend years chasing goals and suddenly realize how far they've come, emotions can hit all at once. It's not necessarily sadness. Sometimes it's gratitude. Sometimes relief. Sometimes it's simply the realization that millions of people have been part of your journey. That perspective resonated deeply with fans who believed Jungkook's tears reflected something profoundly human. Across social media, thousands began sharing messages encouraging people not to overanalyze every emotional moment. Instead, they urged others to recognize the courage it takes for public figures to reveal genuine feelings in front of a global audience. Meanwhile, clips of Jimin discussing the situation continued attracting enormous attention. Viewers praised his calm, thoughtful approach and the care with which he spoke about his fellow member. Many fans described his comments as protective, respectful, and deeply sincere. "This is why BTS has lasted so long," one fan wrote on X, "they genuinely care about each other." Another posted, "Jimin didn't try to create drama. He simply helped us understand Jungkook as a person." As reactions intensified, major entertainment programs invited psychologists and cultural analysts to discuss why the story had resonated so strongly. Several experts suggested that audiences around the world increasingly connect with authenticity in an era dominated by carefully curated images. Jungkook's tears felt real. Jimin's explanation felt real. The response from fans felt real. In a media environment often criticized for artificiality, that authenticity became the story itself. Then came another surprising development. Fan communities began organizing projects dedicated to positivity rather than speculation. Instead of searching for hidden meanings, supporters focused on celebrating Jungkook's achievements and expressing appreciation for his honesty. Digital billboards appeared in some cities. Online events attracted tens of thousands of participants. Fan-made videos highlighting memorable moments from Jungkook's career generated millions of views. The atmosphere gradually shifted from concern to admiration. What initially began as a mystery transformed into a global appreciation of resilience, vulnerability, and connection. Reporters covering the phenomenon observed that very few artists inspire such coordinated emotional responses on an international scale. From Seoul to Sao Paulo, from Paris to Manila, the same message appeared repeatedly: "Thank you, Jungkook. We're proud of you." As the discussion continued, longtime BTS observers reflected on the unique culture surrounding the group. Throughout their career, the members have often emphasized honesty, emotional expression, and mutual support. Those values have become central to the relationship between BTS and ARMY. For many fans, Jimin's remarks represented another example of that culture in action. Rather than allowing confusion to grow unchecked, he offered reassurance. Rather than focusing on speculation, he encouraged understanding. And rather than treating the emotional moment as a controversy, he framed it as a reminder of Jungkook's humanity. By the end of the day, what remained most striking was not the tears themselves, but the overwhelming response they inspired. Millions of people from different backgrounds, cultures, and languages found themselves discussing the same idea, that emotional honesty is not a weakness. It is a strength. It is what allows people to connect. It is what transforms celebrities into human beings and audiences into communities. For Jungkook, the moment may have lasted only a few seconds. For fans, however, its impact will likely endure much longer. The image of a global superstar openly showing emotion challenged assumptions about fame, success, and perfection. It reminded people that even those who seem strongest can experience overwhelming feelings. And perhaps most importantly, it reminded fans why they connected with BTS in the first place, not simply because of records, awards, or performances, but because of the sincerity that has always existed beneath the spotlight. Tonight, as millions continue replaying Jimin's words and reflecting on Jungkook's emotional live broadcast, one truth stands above all others. The mystery that once fueled endless speculation has evolved into something far more meaningful. It has become a story about friendship. About gratitude. About pressure. About growth. And about the extraordinary bond that continues connecting BTS with fans around the world. Whether Jungkook chooses to speak further about that emotional moment remains to be seen. Whether additional details emerge in the days ahead is still unknown. But one thing is absolutely certain, the conversation sparked by Jimin's revelation has touched millions of hearts and reinforced the connection that has made BTS a global phenomenon. As international attention remains focused on the group and fans eagerly await future appearances, updates, and projects, the emotional moment that once raised so many questions now leaves behind a different feeling entirely, not confusion, but understanding. Not worry, but support. Not speculation, but appreciation. And in the world of BTS, where every chapter seems to bring new surprises, unforgettable memories, and powerful emotions, many believe this story is not truly an ending at all. It is simply another reminder that behind the global fame, behind the sold-out stadiums, and behind the record-breaking success are 7 human beings whose honesty continues to inspire millions. For now, ARMY around the world watches, waits, and supports as always. And if the extraordinary reaction to Jimin's comments is any indication, the next chapter in this remarkable story may already be closer than anyone realizes.